All right, so we're going to work on a Posiflex Cash Drawer. We're going to change out the lock. I want to make sure that all my cash drawers have the same lock. That way I don't have to walk around with 1,000 keys to try and open up different freaking cash drawers. So I want one key for every cash drawer. That's it. So let's go ahead and open this up. These are the biggest pain in the butt locks to change. It's not like the IBM cash drawers. The IBM cash drawers are super easy to change the lock. I would recommend these IBM cash drawers anytime. You know, I mean, even for a Posiflex, you know, you can use these IBM cash drawers. But the Posiflex cash drawers, they just work easy with what you want it to do, but you know, they're just a pain in the ass when you want to fix them and do things. Anyways, we're going to start by removing the actual drawer from here. It's going to be easier. You're just going to have to lift up a little bit and pull it out. Next step right here is we're going to remove all these screws right here. All these screws. All right, so let me go ahead and do that. All right, so now that all the screws have been removed, we're going to go ahead and take this front plastic off right here, because that is what's gonna let us remove this lock here. We also have to remove this little piece right here, this little tiny thing. Just gonna, you know, put a little screwdriver in there and pop it up, and it should pop right out, just like that. You will have to remove this wheel for everything to come out. So let's go ahead and do that, and I'll show you how to remove the top plastic. Real quick, just make a mental note of how everything looks. You got spikes on the side right here, one on this side, one on that side. The lettering on this right here should be facing outwards, not inwards. So just make sure that it's like this when you put it back. Otherwise, you'll have problems trying to lock it and unlock it. So let me go ahead. Okay, so I took off the little gear here that will allow the cash drawer to open, lock, and whatnot. So next step is to go ahead and take your screwdriver, a little flathead screwdriver. You're just going to put it underneath here, and you're just going to pry up like that. And the next one, and the next one, and the next one. Now that you've pried it open, you should be able to kind of just lift up and pull this bad boy out. You can see these little clips right here. They will clip into these little holes right there. They kind of go in like that, and then you kind of squeeze the top part to put it back, and then that's it. So let's go ahead and replace this lock. All right, so I already removed the lock and have installed the new lock. You will have to probably hit the old lock out a little bit, because they do use a little bit of glue on them or something like that to keep them in place. Here, a good tool to use to take these bad boys off. What is this? 15, 16. This is what I use to remove the nut here. So just use that to take it off, put it back on, crank it down, lock it in place. All right, so also make sure that you have the key in the right position. You have to also make note. I left the key in this position, and that's the way exactly I'm putting it back. So let's go ahead and slap this bad boy back together. All right, so as you can see, I have the front plate back on, but it's not completely locked into place. I have the bottom latches, the bottom clips, I should say, in place. This is good to go. So the next step to do is to lock it in place. So what we're going to do is we're going to just squeeze this together, and that's what's going to lock it in place. All right, so like I said, you just got to push this together like a sandwich, and just kind of smash it in. You'll hear it clip in there. Now it's all good to go. It's not going to move. No problem. Locks in place. Next step is to go ahead and put the wheel back on. Now that is the hard part, getting that bad boy in there. Well, it's not really hard. It's just a pain in the ass sometimes. I like to make sure that everything's on the up and up. So this little piece right here, you can see how it slides back and forth. If that's not tied down, you will have a little bit of problem, because if it goes off to the side like this a little bit, your lock will get it just won't work properly. So make sure this is in the center. Use a little piece of tape if you want to. I'm gonna put it there. Center it. That way it'll stay a little stable, won't move, and then you can get that little gear on. So let's start by removing, well, also remember when you remove this, the lock will fall out, so make a note of that. Keep your finger on there so when you put the gear on, it's correct. So give me a sec, let me take this apart. So like I was saying, just got to be careful because this little piece right here can fall out. See if I can get it. See how it kind of moves? The lock will fall out if you're not careful, and when it hits the ground, all the little keys or tumblers will kind of fall apart, and then you have to go get another lock. So make sure you keep your finger pushed on this bad boy. And also there is also a little tiny lock type thing. This little piece right here. This little piece makes the lock stop. See if you can see that right there. There's like a little edge right there. This little piece allows it to turn and then stop there, so that way it doesn't overturn and then the opposite way. You want to make sure that this piece, because it's in the unlocked position, that it is. Let me put this down. So like I was saying. So I put that piece on. It's a square peg, so you just got to put it in there. But notice how I have the edges right there. So in the lock position, now I can actually lock it so it won't open, and then I can open it the other way so it constantly opens, or it stays open, or it stays unlocked. So just make note of that. That has to be in this position with the key in that position, and then you should be good to go. So let's finish up by putting on the little gear. All right, so everything is back together. If you noticed at the beginning of the video, that's the way it looked, and that's the way I put it back. Let me see if I can flip it up the other way. Right there. Okay. Gear's back in. Numbers and lettering are facing outward. That's the way it should go. And then you should be able to put your key in there. Okay, so like I was saying, make sure you pull the tape off the back side. And I pulled the tape off so that way I can try to manipulate this little key. So let's see what happens now that the lock has changed. So it goes one way, goes the other way, goes one way, goes the other way, no problem. If you do have an issue with these things not working correctly, it's probably because right here, you have to push these little things down. So I'll see if I can show you. These little teeth right here, just kind of like push them down, because they probably got bent up a little bit, The way I like to do is I will turn the key all the way to one side and start from here. See, now this is on that side. I'll start from here and I'll push that one down and then keep turning the key, and then push that one down and then keep turning the key and push that one down, push that one down, push that one down, until I get all the way to the other side where I can push that one down, and then that ends up with the rod on this side. So let me go ahead and do that, because I want to make sure this thing locks and unlocks properly. All right, so now I have pushed down those little tabs there and made sure that everything grabs fine. I don't have any problem with the teeth skipping and stuff like that. So let's go ahead and slap the cash drawer back in to its home. These are not the hardest. They just kind of go in at a sort of like a little angle and then kind of lift up and fold into place, and then you just kind of close it, and then there you go. Unlock, where it stays unlocked every time. Now it's in the locked open position, so that way the cash drawer will unlock and pop the drawer out, and then you have your locked position, and then the drawer will not open up at all, no matter if the POS sends a signal or if you try to just kind of open it. So that's the way that goes. And then of course the last thing to do is go ahead and put all the screws back in, put the little cover back in, and then you're done. And you should be good to go. Lock is a little bit of a pain in the butt to do, but hey, fucking you gotta take the good with the bad sometimes. All right, well, let's put the screws back in and set up a POS. Thanks for watching. All right, just so you can see the completed job, all the screws are in, all the little cap is back on, everything is tight back down, nothing's gonna come apart, lock is good to go, drawer is in, and that's it. That's Posiflex Cash Drawers.